Rather.
All righty, very good. Terry was on the phone. Terry unfortunately hung up, but she gave us the following information. September 25th, 1931. September 25th, 1931, and I believe she was interested in general, health and where she's going to be a year from now, things like that. September 25th, 1931.
She was born the first day of Libra, with the moon in Pisces. The moon is in Pisces today, so she's probably feeling today like maybe she's having to take care of too many people, and it was a good idea to call and have a little nurturing for yourself. Let me see, what else could I say? She has a very analytical mind. Mercury in Virgo, very good at details. Any kind of work with, computers or working in the helping professions, nursing, that kind of thing. It would be good for you to do something like that.
All right, we also had a call from Steve. His date of birth was 11/24/48. Sue was August 14th, 48. His is 11/24, November 24th. He's a Sagittarian. And I'm wondering, he just wanted to know, again, what does his... apparently he is divorced, wants to know if he's going to get married again. That's the way he put it.
November what, 48?
November 24th, 1948.
Okay, he has the moon in Virgo, the sun in Sagittarius. That's a hard angle. There is difficulty with resolving the conscious and the unconscious side of yourself. The sun is about, the light, being outside and seeing what you're thinking, being very aware consciously. And the sun in Sagittarius is a very nice place for the sun in the sense that you will search for things. Squaring the moon in Virgo, at times it's hard because you will get caught up in the details. The moon in Virgo is about being nervous, internally nervous, unconsciously nervous. Maybe stomach difficulties.
Does that also mean when you say you are nervous subconsciously, does that also mean things like you have to be better than anybody else, you have to strive more to do things, like a real type A personality, you're always on the go, things like that? I'm just curious. I mean, this is a follow-up to what you were just talking about. You said that they internalize, they may not be aware of things, but consciously or subconsciously they are these, gung-ho George Patton type people.
I'm not going to answer the question. I have to answer it the way that I would answer it, which is about the fact that the moon represents how we integrate in our unconscious. So with the moon squaring the sun, it means that the person would have more difficulty remembering their dreams. It would be more difficult for them to understand how it's okay to have a different unconscious feeling about the person. In other words, someone else. They would always be pushing down any kind of negative feelings, saying, "Well, I can't deal with it," and so on. Whereas a person that has a harmonious aspect between the conscious and the unconscious would be more ready to acknowledge the fact that it's okay to say, "I'm really mad at you."
Okay, here's a question. Are there certain astrological signs that you become a daydreamer, things like that?
A daydreamer.
Yeah, you are a daydreamer. Pisces. And Pisces is what time of the year?
End of February, March.
Okay. On the phone with us now is Juan. Good morning, Juan. You are March 3rd, Joan, I'm sorry. Is this Joan?
Yep.
Oh, Joan. March 3rd, 1943. I'm sorry.
Pisces, right? March 3rd.
1943. All right, just hold 1 second as we pull out. Okay, go ahead. Joan, do you have a question?
I wanted to know what's likely to happen in work for me.
Well, you're someone that likes sudden change. Have you changed jobs, suddenly in the past?
Not often.
Not often, but when it does happen, is it something that kind of happens?
Actually, I haven't changed my job in 30 years.
Well, okay. All right. Well, anyway, you have Mercury, the sign of the mind, in Aquarius, which means that, what you would be interested in studying or working with would be things that are ahead of their time. This can relate to things, like computers that, are constantly changing. It can relate to the kind of thing that I do, metaphysical work or, quote-unquote New Age thinking. The moon there as well, so that's supporting the Mercury. Your unconsciousness is interested in, these kind of eclectic, slightly eccentric, but the frustration with it is that 5 years after you've thought of it, other people start thinking it's a good idea, kind of thing. Does any of this make sense?
Would this person also be artistic or detail-minded artistically? Venus in Aries. If it's details, it's details in a new way of putting them together. Like a designer type thing?
A designer, yes. And Mars in Capricorn, very good worker. Your ability to stick to things and fight for your rights are very good.
Just curiosity on that one also. All right, on the next line, we have Dolores, July 12th, 1957. Another Cancerian. I think that's the right way to put it. July 12th, 1957. Good morning, Dolores.
Good morning.
Where are you calling from, by the way?
From Mount Kisco. I'm in the hospital.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're feeling better now?
A little bit.
Good.
I want to know about my health and what's to be expected.
Let's see. Your health.
Right now I'm undergoing chemotherapy and radiation.
Uh-huh. Well, there's a sense with the body, with the physical body, that you're expanding and contracting. The two, Jupiter and Saturn, Jupiter which expands, Saturn which contracts, there's kind of a feeling of the two going back and forth. So what you want to think about is that this is evolving. It's helping you to understand. I think in terms of the chemotherapy, that it's something that you will react very well to. You have the moon in Aquarius, which is, about reacting to this kind of treatment very well. I think that after your birthday is when you will start to heal and mend more. I think right now it's a time when it's, maybe a little more difficult for you to feel that you're going to get better, but you will after your birthday.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for calling. And for you folks at the hospital watching on Cable Channel 12, yes, we are in every room there. Just so you know. Feel free to give us a call, 241-1310. We're talking to Mary Michele, who is an astrologer, and if you were with us earlier, she did my entire chart. How important is, I know you have said that it is not necessarily the minute you are born, but kind of like there was a period of time, because we went through this with one person who was born at 11:59 one day, and it would have been, if she was born at 12 o'clock the next day, it would have been a different sign. How important is that?
It's quite important. It's a 2-hour time frame. When you think that the Earth is moving, right? It's the 2-hour time frame that particular constellation was directly overhead in that geographic location. So you being born in the morning, the sun was rising, and it was the constellation of Cancer was also there too, directly, there. So it means that you're the ascendant, what sets up the whole chart, that first house, the first 2 hours, it really gives you the picture. Now, you can do a solar chart and just look at aspects, and that's effective as well. I think there's always something to be learned, and my hope is that people might start seeing these kind of symbols in other areas of their life so that they feel they get validated for themselves about how important everything that we notice in life is. There's a reason why you think about certain things, and to observe yourself thinking about them, that's really a good thing.
Okay. On the phone with us now is Rita. This is December 30th, 1930, and her husband was born 2 days before, same year, December 28th, 1930. I guess you have no problem, Rita, in remembering when people's birthdays are, though. Good morning.
Good morning.
Are you there, Rita?
Yes, I am.
Okay. What's your question for Mary Michele?
Wait a minute, December 28th?
That's her husband. She's December 30th, the year 1930.
1930, okay.
Okay, go ahead.
2 days apart.
Right. Was there a particular...
Curiosity how we, get along and whatnot. I'm not that I don't know how we do, but you know what I mean. Because we're so close, I'm always curious that we're not exactly on the same thinking,
Well, he has the moon in Aries, and you have the moon in Taurus, which are quite different. The moon in Aries wants to get up and get going and is very assertive, and the daily rituals and daily routines, which, of course, you notice in another person when you are married to them, are quite different than the moon in Taurus, who wants to have comfort and will provide other people with lots of comfort and security and a sense of well-being and all that kind of thing, but they need it themselves. So you might like time in the morning to, figure out how you want to get through the day and think about it and organize it a little, whereas he probably wants to move a little faster. Is that?
No, the opposite.
Is it? Oh, that's funny. Okay.
That's why I'm curious, because we're so close in the days, but in reality, the personalities are like day and night. I mean, you can't believe I'm a Capricorn and he's a Capricorn, and I'm saying to myself,
Well, your moon is in a harmonious aspect to your sun, so your ability to deal. No, wait a minute. You're the 30th, right? And he's the 28th. Okay. Your moon is in the sign of Taurus is very harmonious with the sign of Capricorn. So your sense of the material world is more grounded. You understand both Capricorn and Taurus are earth, material, matter. You understand how to cope with those, whereas he has the moon squaring the sun. So there's more of a push-pull.
Okay, we have to go on to the next call. This is our last caller. This is Pat, April 3rd, 1957. April 3rd, 1957. Good morning, Pat.
Good morning.
Pat, are you there?
Here.
Okay, good morning.
Morning.
Where are you calling from?
From Mayapack.
Okay, question for Mary Michele.
Just about my birthday, my personality, whatever.
You also have the moon in Taurus. We're getting a lot of moon in Taurus people here today. As I say, it's a very it is squaring your sun, though. Here we go. It has this component of. My suggestion always to people that have this hard angle between the sun and the moon is to try to remember your dreams. Try to remember those ideas and concepts that don't make linear logical sense. I don't know if do you know anything about science?
Yes, I do.
Do you know anything about quantum physics?
No, not really.
All right. Well, quantum physics is the new idea of science, right? It's looking at things from more of a subjective idea, and it also gives one more trust in things to allow yourself to realize that from your point of view it's okay. So anyway, if you're interested at all in science and things like that, I would look this up, because you need to have you're very good at initiating and starting things and so on, but then if they don't work out exactly, you might feel a little lost. You will get what you need. The moon in Taurus, you will get what you need, but psychically sometimes you might not give yourself enough nurturing. So take the time to think.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, and thanks for calling. That just about does it. We've run out of time, Mary Michele. I got one final question real quick. Is it true that opposites attract?
Of course.
Oh. That was a quick answer to a quick question. Mary Michele, our astrologer, thanks so much for joining with us. We'll see you again real soon on Meet the VIPs. Have a great day.